PKN 345. Hockey troubles, Taylor.
Yeah, man. The Blues are so bad. I may just give Kyle $35 now and skip the 7 games because beginning of the season, I know. No, I'm not gonna do that.
It's more fun if it's
if it's
five more.
5 at a time, 5 at a time. You send me like pictures of like, ooh, third game won. Treated myself to some Five Guys, I got $13.98 dinner. But so basically the beginning of the season, Kyle was like, I'm taking Colorado Avalanche. I'm like, obviously I'm taking St. Louis Blues. They were both projected to be the top 2 teams. Like people were even saying like, man, both of these teams, maybe even over Vegas. If not, they're right there with Vegas. And Vegas has been a standard, a very good team. Immediately the Blues start going down like someone like gave a monkey's paw curse against them, like getting hit with pucks, falling, like getting hurt off ice, freak stuff like a normal high stick that would normally not be a big deal. Detached retina, that's going to be 6 months, stuff like that. And so slowly but surely, it's like, it's okay. The Blues are still doing good. This is about a month ago now. It's like the Blues, they're not doing great, but they're still going to make the playoffs. And then like a bunch of our third and fourth line guys started getting hurt. And now it's like, it's a whole team of people. I don't know half of them. Like it's people who they have like brought up from minor leagues, like a guy who's like, I've just kind of consigned to my life. We have a guy on our team who was born in Australia, to give you the only Australian player to ever play in the NHL, Nathan Walker. He's in our every night lineup now. He doesn't belong there.
There are 8 teams in the West, and you guys are 4th best.
Oh, and look at the last 10. 2 wins in the last 10. Horrific.
Yeah, true. But the way you talk about it being so catastrophic, you're not even going to get a great draft pick.
No, they never do.
See, that's the worst.
They never do.
That's as bad as it can be, though, right? Because there's no glimmer of hope. There's no little sparkle on the corner of this failure. If you're like, I don't know, 30 games below 500 or something, it's like, we're going to get some players next year. But no, you're not. No, you're just good enough that the mediocrity will continue for a generation or more.
Trade Big T.
This is similar. He actually just came back, and it's like, it was funny because like he comes back, he's like, where is everyone I used to play with on the team? Like, who do I play with now? And like he's been doing really well, like scoring multiple goals, doing really, really good for a guy who's had like 5 shoulder surgeries. But bright side, this is the situation the Blues were in a worse situation than this 2 years ago, and then they rebounded back. But that wasn't because of injury that they were shitty. It's because they had a bad coach 2 years ago, and then Bortuzzo and Sundqvist got in a fist fight at practice, and then they went on a 20-game win streak. It worked great. But so anyway, the Blues, I am not looking forward to them getting absolutely shit-rocked by Colorado. I'm just hoping that like the Blues get a couple on the board, because Colorado, while the Blues have been like trending down, like Colorado looks like they're just amping up, getting better. And I would prefer them win over Vegas anyway. I like Vegas is too new. No wins for them yet. No, none of that.
It seems so simple to me. Have you tried telling Bortuzzo that Sundqvist is talking shit?
Yeah, I'm telling, hey, Bortuzzo, you got to fight Sundqvist in practice again. See, that's not going to work because Sundqvist is out for the rest of the season with like a broken leg. So
no. You didn't say Sundqvist started playing really well. You said he got into a fight. This can still happen.
It could still. Yeah, we wheel him out there. It's like, come on, do it.
Hit him with his crutch.
Yeah, but at least we can all look down on the Buffalo Sabres, which are going through. They just tied.
I didn't even know that was a team.
The Buffalo Sabres, really?
They're terrible.
Never heard of that.
18-game losing streak.
18-game losing streak ties the 03-04 Penguins for the longest losing streak in NHL history, and they might have a chance.
Penguins can't do anything right. Confirmed.
Yeah, that's right. Before the NHL rigged the lottery to give them Crosby and Malkin. That's my conspiracy theory. That's going to be my next conspiracy theory, is that that whole draft was rigged to give the Pens Crosby to keep them from relocating. He should have rightfully been a Philadelphia Flyer. We all know.
No.
And then you would like him.
Probably.
No, yeah. You'd be like, what are you talking? You'd be like, this Connor McDavid guy's got nothing on my man. Look at the career stats. And it's like, he's been in the league for 13 more years. So it just means he's got more to prove. That's the most fun way to do it. But yeah, I felt really bad for the Buffalo Sabres. They were leading 3-0 over the Philadelphia Flyers last night, and I saw a bunch of Flyers fans being like, of fucking course, it's the Flyers who throw the game away. Flyers score 3, tie it up, and then win in overtime, and you can hear the Buffalo Sabres announcer, who's like a genuine you may not know this, Kyle, the Buffalo Sabres market, they haven't made the playoffs in 11 years, and they have some of the most consistently high hockey rankings. They love the NHL in Buffalo. Like it can be Tampa Bay versus Colorado in the Stanley Cup, and Buffalo is one of the highest markets. And like this guy, like Philly's going in on a breakaway in the overtime, and he scores, and the guy's like coming in on the Buffalo goalie scores. Well, that's the way the great game goes. It's like it's just like
Buffalo's pretty close to Canada, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's basically.
Is it kind of like close to Niagara and all that, like way up there?
Yeah, north of Toronto. Well,
yeah, I guess all I know about Buffalo obviously is the hot wings and
way better than their hockey team,
and that like their football team is just a perennial like just disgrace. Like it's almost a joke.
Good this year.
They were good this year. There's a stat going right now that since February 1st, 2020, the Buffalo Bills have won 15 games and the Buffalo Sabres have won 14. The Buffalo Bills won 15 out of 16. The Buffalo Sabres have won 14 out of like 61 or something. Pretty rough when you lose, when you're not winning as much as the football team. And that football team.
That's special. I kind of like that when you see that in sports. Like, I wonder what it would be like to be a fan of a team that is just that perennial dog that wins 20% of their games or whatever it is. Like, man, that's got to be. I don't understand that kind of fandom. Like I joke around a lot about being a bandwagon fan, but in reality, like most of the teams that I'm actually a fan of are my like local teams, like the Braves and the Georgia Bulldogs and stuff. But man, if the Bulldogs if they won 4 games a year, like for years in a row, like if they did it 1 year, you'd be mad and you'd be like, oh, we're going to get them next year. We're going to recruit. We got a new offensive coordinator, a new head coach, new this, new that, new stadium too. We're starting fresh, like you could get behind something, but after generations.
They're like cursed. Like watch this it's a very short GIF. His name's Taylor Hall. They call it Taylor Fall. He's on a breakaway. First of all, he signed with the Buffalo Sabres going, I'm going to sign a 1-year deal. I'm going to bet on myself. It's going terribly. He's on a breakaway, and he just falls over like a Kiwi kid and then just gives up. He's like, I hate this. Is only like 13 losses into the streak or something. Like,
top comment. He looks so sad.
Yeah, he does. He's known to be a player with a curse. If you have Taylor Hall on your team, you're going to get a first-round draft pick the next year. Apparently that works pretty well.
This guy goes, I'd be sad too if I played for Buffalo.
Yeah.
I like it when sports have scores that don't fit. Like if I told you that Atlanta won 17-3, you'd be like, oh, nice defense. Good game for the Falcons. No. It was the Braves. Like, 17-3 in a baseball game? That always gets me.
Yeah, we had a game like that last year. I don't remember who it was, but I think the Braves scored like maybe 21 or something like that. It was one of those. It was like 21-4 or something like that. I don't even remember anymore. Opening day is, I think, the 4th.
Are they shaping up to be good this year, you think?
This year it's going to be Braves and Dodgers again in the NL. So it's looking like it could be just a complete repeat of last year. Obviously Dodgers are West Coast and we're East Coast. I haven't looked at the American League too much, but my guess, like completely uneducated guess, would be that it's the teams, the Yankees are they're good whenever they want to be, and the Red Sox seem to be good whenever they want to be. And if neither of them want to be good, then someone else is going to step up. But yeah, this year, my prognostication is Braves Dodgers again, and hopefully this year we close it out.
I didn't even. Is this? Oh, spring training. Good God, they play a lot of games in spring training.
Yeah. Just ignore spring training. That's really just like advanced stretching.
Oh, this is like preseason where it's like, oh man, Kansas City Royals looking really good. And it's like, well, that may be true, John, but every team's playing minor league guys. Everybody else is at home in their mansions waiting.
The people who are playing for specific reasons. Nobody's getting out there and like throwing their arm out or risking a hamstring sprain. Unless it's like, oh yeah, he's recovering from this or that. Yeah, he really needs to get some reps in because of X, Y, and Z. Like they're going through the motions.
What about towards the end? Do they not start ramping it up? You know,
Yeah, they'll start ramping it up. And part of it is maybe to like develop a lineup. But like it was announced like a week ago who the starting pitcher on opening day was going to be. Like they get that stuff kind of out of the way fairly early. And injuries are a big deal in every sport, I guess, but more so, I think, obviously in football, your quarterback gets injured. It's like, well, the season is over. In baseball, you lose a starting pitcher. It's not quite as bad, but it's like, fuck, because you've got like 3 good ones most of the time, maybe 4, and then some other guys who occasionally slip in there. But if you lose one of your good ones, it's a real problem early in the year. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm getting my I told you guys earlier, I'm getting my vaccine tomorrow. So 1 month from then, I'll have my second shot.
Moderna then?
Shit, I don't know. The one that's 4 weeks. Like I was asking, I was like, hey, Moderna or Pfizer? And Woody was like, either one. And I'm like, I click. I'm like, yep, that one. And she just goes, but don't get that. And I'm like, well, shit. Like, because one of them is a 3-week gap and one of them is a 4-week gap.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Woody was like, it's the same shit. And I was like, that was also my understanding. Like, I don't know.
I didn't realize that the spread was different, but the effectiveness is about the same. Like one's 95%, one's 96. Like
say you'll be out of town and you got to get it early. Boom.
I don't care. I'll wait another week. The main thing is I'm hoping I can go to some Braves games. I really want to go to some Braves games.
Baseball games. There's so many of them. Like,
what's that?
Like, there's so many baseball games, and the teams travel, and just like, is it? I don't know. It seems like even more than other sports, baseball's going to be hard to organize.
What do you mean?
Like with the way the NHL did is like nobody plays outside of like an 8-team conference. Like MLB, like I feel like they're bouncing around a lot more. Are they not?
In baseball, how's that going to work?
Yeah.
Just spread the disease.
Many games as any other sport.
I don't know if there will be a special concern. Last year they canceled a lot of games. That was the solution. A lot of the early games were canceled. I don't remember how long the season ended up being, but a half of what it normally is or something. I don't know what the plans are this year, but without some degree of major travel, it's hard to even work your division because the National League East has Philadelphia in it, Washington in it, the Braves, the Marlins. So there's a lot of traveling to be done there. It's not just you can't just go to Florida back and forth and play. You got to go all the way up and down the East Coast.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to.
I don't know. I want to catch some home games though.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
I've gone before and gotten like the best seats available, like right behind home plate, and been just super underwhelmed. Like, fuck. Do we at least get like free food? Because like the people in front of me are like literally the players' families. Like I've got the seat behind the players' families, and you keep seeing them like going down some steps to like fucking craft services.
Yeah, and they're
coming. They're coming back with shrimp cocktails and shit, and like martini glasses. And I'm like, do we get any of that? Because I paid a lot for these tickets. No. You
don't try anything like, but Pujols, remember? You're my godfather, you were at my baptism, Pablo or something, like just making something up.
No, I think you get tackled or worse. So I just want to go. The stadium's really nice. I'll probably get some like mediocre tickets or something like that and bring some fucking binoculars because like it's really just more about being there because like I've always said, there's very few sports that are actually worth going to. And baseball is not one of them. I just want to go to like, I'm tired of being inside. I want to go do some shit. And, but like normally I wouldn't even bother going to a fucking Braves game because it doesn't matter where you sit. I guess I'll probably get on the first base line because, they're running past you all the time.
You're getting though, right? Like you're at a baseball game in Atlanta and they play in the summer.
It's hot.
Yeah.
It's hot and sunny. Yeah. Yeah, it's hot and sunny.
Yeah, but you can cool yourself down with $20. Or no, wait, I forget. Atlanta. Or wait, no. Yeah, it is Atlanta. The Braves that have that fair stuff, right? The fair price.
Yeah, they got the fair pricing thing. I think that's at the football stadium though.
Never mind.
Where they've got like the crazy good prices. It's been a few years since I've been to a Braves game. I honestly don't remember how affordable or not affordable the snacks were. I think we got like a couple hot dogs and a couple Cokes or something. And At the football stadium, I think is where like hot dogs are like $2 and Cokes are $1. Like it's like super, super reasonable. Like everything's well priced.
Will you go to a Falcons game this year? Or no interest whatsoever?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I'd like to, I'm going to go do a lot of things, but
Me too.
definitely want to get that fucking vaccine under my belt. I'm so tired of being cooped up.
Yeah.
I want to go do some shit.
That was my motivation, and like I want to do stuff. I want to get out. I want to have any effects from the vaccine behind me before my trip. I want to go to that paramotor fly-in. I just want to be going.
Are there any UFC events planned for Atlanta?
I thought you guys both agreed you never wanted to physically go to a UFC again.
Well, see, this is the COVID effect. This is the COVID effect.
Don't fool yourself. You guys have said so many times that it was not worth it. And
I still say it's not worth
much
it.
More.
And part of it's why it wasn't worth it is because Woody and I drove up the entire east coast of the United fucking States, got in at 3 a.m, slept for a few hours, really accomplished nothing the next day other than like a little jaunt through a park and around some sidewalks. Paid several $100s per seat. Saw Dana White. He was about 10 feet away. So that was honestly the highlight of the entire fucking trip, his big bald head in front of us. And then literally looked at a jumbotron to like watch the fight because like everything is obscured by a fence, and then went fucking home and got lost in Delaware.
I wonder if there's a sweet spot in UFC tickets, right? Like where we were at like the closest seats that weren't in the closed area. So like an octagon is much smaller than a hockey rink. So they put seats on the area that like would have been a hockey rink, and we weren't there. We were probably in the very best normal seats. And from there, like you had full cage obstruction. You weren't really elevated to see what's happening. It was almost like the worst place to be. Like
you can't stand up to see it either. Like you have to remain seating, right?
If you can, I don't think it would have helped. You know,
it wouldn't have helped. Like binoculars would have helped. And don't misunderstand. It wasn't that far away. Like the fence is it's so obscuring.
It's
the
a television sport.
It's a television sport. All sports are television sports except for hockey, and like if you're a fucking celebrity,
there's
boxing.
Like 4 cameramen hanging over the cage with great views. If you're in the audience, you have a great view of the cameraman, and that's not what I came for.
Like even soccer, for example,
plexiglass, so you can see right through
plexiglass cage.
Yeah,
I've considered that. It would get dirty and everything, but make it a priority. You know, like you can do that. And between every round, have girls in bikinis just like spick and span that thing to make it perfect.
Yeah, use their asses to clean it like the hockey girls.
Now we're making money. Yeah,
dude, you know someone gets slammed into that motherfucker. It shatters and like slices somebody's fucking jugular or something.
I like the way you're thinking. Yes, we need glass, not plexiglass.
Since we're on the topic, do you want to cover the
glass? just so unbelievably. And they're approaching the pane of glass. Oh!
You see both fighters disengage, like whoa, the glass.
Yeah, like Joe.
Sorry, man. I'm so sorry.
Days. Now all the tactics revolve around the glass. Like,
this guy's not very good at striking or wrestling, but goddamn, he pushes people into the glass. It's our champion.
He's never thrown a punch, but he's so fast side to side. He just pulls me past him into the glass. I would fight him again if I wasn't blinded from his pane of glass attack. I thought that I was fucked at the very end, and then I decided to throw him to a pane of glass. And I regret to say, I still remain champion. It's like incredible. It's just
that's incredible.
Joe Rogan just he's bleeding out on the side of the.
Jesus Christ,
man! Ronda Rousey could throw me through a pane of glass so hard.
Do you want to cover the UFC talk, or do you want to save it for PKA?
Nah, let's do it.
Oh man! So I think I called all the fights that I was asked about. I don't know if it was on the show or if it was in our hangout over the last Tuesday, but I did. You and I both. We picked Ngannou to beat Stipe. And frankly, I didn't think it was that big of a reach. Like I just felt like he's had a fucking year. He's so goddamn scary. And Stipe got a year older. And like I got a lot of respect for Stipe, but goddamn, Ngannou is just the most terrifying man in the world. So I just felt like it was a good bet. And then I saw like one of those, infographic, those Twitter plugs that come up in the bottom left part of your screen. And they were like, some buffoon bets $9,000 on Francis Ngannou to win it all. If Ngannou wins, he'll take home a cool $19,500. And I'm just like, fuck, is it too late to place a bet? Like, I'll slap 1,000 on Ngannou if those are the actual odds. Like, I had no idea. Like I'm really confident that Ngannou has this. And sure enough, like from the opening 3 seconds, no, forget that. From the moment you saw Ngannou and his current physique,
oh my god,
I was just like, dear God. They have it was like one of those scenes in a Mad Max movie, like Thunderdome, when like the fucking Master Blaster comes out and he's so big that he's got a midget attached to his back to help control him.
He's huge and muscular. And oftentimes when a guy weighs 260, he's carrying a little fat, right? He has visible abs. He's not shredded to like, deltoid striations or anything.
Yeah, he's probably 12% body fat, 13 maybe, but visible abs, and he's a tank. 263, I think, was the official weight.
Okay.
Yeah, he's huge. I'm watching
2 pounds below the maximum.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear.
You can't fight all the heavyweights. Even though the division goes from 205 to 265, you have to be within 40 pounds. If he were to fight like if John Jones wasn't gaining weight, he'd be too small to get in the octagon with Ngannou. Ngannou is a beast, but he lost to Stipe. Somehow Stipe
last time,
beat him
a year
last
ago,
time. Yeah. I'm sorry, I should have been more clear. And it always kind of baffled me, like, how'd that happen? Stipe, why is Stipe the best champion that like the heavyweight division has ever had in any organization? It blows my mind. He is a sweet, nice guy. He is
super nice.
Good husband, a
really
good
is.
father. He's the multi-millionaire you would expect 2021's Mike Tyson to be, and he still works as a fireman. He's not even that high ranking as a fireman. When he came back with the championship belt again, like reclaiming it from Daniel Cormier, they made him clean the toilets and they made fun of him on Instagram for it. He's a multi-millionaire. He doesn't have to do this. But he's like, dude, there's COVID. Like, the world needs me right now. I'm going to be responding to cases and shit. And
he wasn't doing this before.
No, he was. He's always been a
done it.
And he's never quit his job. And
that's pretty cool.
He's just a public servant, sweet, nice guy.
He's got, like, major corporate sponsors. Like he's in those, like, I don't remember if it's Stella Artois or Modelo or which beer company it is that does UFC brands. Stuff.
Yeah, so either one.
But it's like, when the call comes down the line, Stipe Miocic always answers the phone, and it's just like with clips
Stella
of him,
Artois.
It's just like, and that's so. And
I always drink 6 Stella Artois before I fight.
That's what it didn't. It doesn't
respond to an EMT call.
They always try to make. They're always clear to like make them like cheering with the Modelo after the fight or after they put out the fire or whatever. But I would do it the complete opposite way. Stipe Miocic is so fucking good. He pounds 18 Stella Artois before he even steps in the ring. You think that's a water bottle in the corner? No. He's doing keg stands of Stella to power him into round 3.
Like swaying by a door with an axe, like, get back, I'm coming in.
Stipe
the drunkest
never fit as the champion. He just I don't know why he was so good. It's kind of neat that he was.
He is big. He's 6'3" or 6'4".
What, 236 or something?
I thought he was more, but I don't have the number off the top of my head. He's durable. He's got very clean boxing, and he's got really strong wrestling, and he knows when to do which. And in the first fight, he out-wrestled Ngannou, tired him out, and then caught him with a hook, and that was game over. This time, I don't know enough about wrestling I know enough about wrestling to recognize good wrestling, but I have no idea when it's mediocre wrestling, if that makes sense. Like I can tell the difference between really good and really bad, but in between, I'm like, well, I don't know. It seems like he knows what he's doing. I don't know. It's not something I grew up with or have any experience in. But I saw Chael saying that his wrestling was bad. Something about, oh, he went to the left instead of the right here. Like, everybody knows you go to the left. Your body doesn't even want to go to the right, or whatever he did. And I'm just like, you say so, Chael. Like I don't know what I'm even fucking looking at, but there was that one takedown attempt that he had on Ngannou. Chael felt that it was really bad, and then and Ngannou stuffed it very well. It was clear that he'd been training that a ton. Ngannou had his mouth open in round one. He was tiring out, but literally in round two, I was watching with a group of guys in the Discord, and I said, "It's over." Ngannou was going to catch him. He's just throwing with such lethality. Everything he throws looks like a kill shot. Everything he throws looks like a kill shot. Ngannou's going to catch him. And I swear to God, it was 5 seconds later when he caught him. And it was just like, yep, here we go. And it's just to Miocic's, that's a mouthful, Miocic's credit. He weathered that storm for longer than just about any human on the planet could have. But eventually he was laying there unconscious, and he fell rather awkwardly. His foot almost curled under him in a bad kind of way. But
yeah, I was worried his knee was hurt. Sometimes fighters, when they go down, they land awkwardly on their knees and bend them in the wrong way. But I haven't heard that he has any knee problems. Dude, Miocic is very cool. He's got more title defenses than any other UFC champion has ever had. I don't know why he beat Ngannou the first time, and I don't see him beating him anymore. But we'll see.
Get another chance at it, right? Because they
normally the answer would be yes, but the UFC is more about business than anything, and it seems like the momentum right now is behind Jon Jones versus Ngannou, and the way I know that's completely true is because Dana White is trying to downplay that, and that's a clear sign that he has to negotiate now. To me, it's like when I see Dana going like, so Jon Jones immediately tweets, "Show me the money."
Yeah,
and Dana White responds with, "That's the sort of thing someone who doesn't want to fight says."
Yeah, and Curtis Blade is the clear challenger for the next fight.
Or Hot Balls. What's his name?
Oh, do I have the wrong guy? Derek Lewis.
Derek Lewis is Hot Balls. Negotiating
on Twitter, basically being like, nobody even wants, you're not even interested. Nobody wants to see that. We're going to do this.
Dana's halfway right. You know, if they offered me a shot to fight Jon Jones, I would name some price that made it worth my while.
Oh yeah, right? We'll all fight Jon Jones.
Yeah, like if I was like 15 million. Okay, 15 million says two things. I am absolutely scared of Jon Jones, but for 15 million, I will overcome that. That is one way that fighters dodge other fighters. Yeah, I want to fight that guy. Just pay me crazy amounts. And that makes it worth their while. Okay. But in Jon's case, this is the kind of fight that you would pay above the established contract for. You know, Jon Jones has a contract. He earns, I don't know what it is, $500,000 every fight. But, you know, when the right fight comes along, Jon says, I want $3 million for this time. And even though he has a contract, they get it. So that's, I think, where we are.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit of both. I don't think Jon's afraid, because I don't think Jon's afraid of any human being. But I think Jon definitely recognizes that what happened over the weekend was a big deal in the world of UFC, and Ngannou's star has risen because that was impressive. Mm-hmm. I think he wants something like that Conor McGregor money, right? I heard he's getting $5 million a fight, which isn't peanuts. This is Jon Jones, but 10 seems more fair, doesn't it? For what's going to be like a heavyweight championship, him moving up in the belt, this whole like year-long thing of him cultivating mass and like getting so big and then taking on the heavyweight champion. And if he was fighting Stipe, I'm not going to bother with his Croatian last fucking name anymore. If he was fighting Stipe, I wouldn't be nearly as excited. Or but when I just think about Jon Jones fighting Ngannou, really when I think about anyone fighting Ngannou, I'm a little I get a little feeling in my chest of like concern about how violently this could end.
Yeah, if I see someone fighting Ngannou, it's a lot like I see someone trying to jump the Grand Canyon on a motorcycle.
Or riding a bull.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, so look, I recognize that you've trained for this, but I'm still concerned. Like no one should be doing this. So, to me, if I'm Dana White, the answer is pretty straightforward, right? Like whatever kind of profit sharing Conor might get, extend to John. In that way, we're also extending on to John the kind of promotion that Conor McGregor gets. If you think you deserve Conor McGregor money, then go pull Conor McGregor numbers. We're giving you the dance partner in which you can make that happen. Go out there. Conor McGregor flew around the world and promoted that Aldo fight for like 18 months. That was a big deal. Wonders. He got up there. He had prepared speeches. He tore his thing. If this were the olden days, I would be coming to Brazil, conquering it on horseback or whatever the fuck he said, right?
Ride into your favela on horseback.
Let John Jones come up with his own lines. Let John Jones come up with his own promotion. And if he is as successful as Conor McGregor, then he will be as successful as Conor McGregor, right? Like, so if I'm Dana, I'm like, yeah, man, you get 4%.
That's a job I want. I want a job writing the mean shit for fighters to say to one another. I want John Jones to tell
you. Yeah.
I want John Jones to tell Ngannou that when he's through with him, he's going to be shoveling salt in Africa again.
I like it. John should go that hard. I saw I forget who it was. Someone was saying they respect their opponent, they want whoever's next and this and that. And I'm like, no, that's not what Chael would do. Say, this guy absolutely sucks. I can't believe he belongs in a ring with me, and I'm going to prove that he doesn't. Like, what are you afraid of? Is he going to hit you harder? You're already getting his best effort. Go talk shit.
Yeah, as if he's like, I wasn't sure, but now I'm mad.
Honestly, that might be the way to beat Ngannou. Like if you could actually hurt Ngannou's feelings and make him furious at you, because he seems like a guy who goes into the fight with no emotion. More determination.
That's his Achilles heel, his feelings.
I don't know if the man has an Achilles heel other than like his actual heel, and you might need to shoot it with an arrow like an actual Achilles. Like the man is fucking terrifying. Like I love that quote from Dana White where, they measure the punching power on one of those fancy machines. And he's like, when Francis Ngannou punches with the same power as a Buick LeSabre traveling 35 miles per hour. And like, that's an accurate stat.
It can't be. I don't understand where that comes from.
It's just like the energy, displacement or something.
But that's not right. Like
it actually wasn't a Buick LeSabre, but it was a car.
I think it was a Ford Escort. Even a Ford Escort going at 5 miles an hour has so much energy in it.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
like a horse isn't going to beat that.
Let me see if I can find the exact thing. Like Francis and
it has to be.
But are you saying he could stop a?
No. It's the amount of force.
Of his punch is equal to the impact of a car crash, and I'm just like, nah. Like this can't be true. Like
he hits someone, they just
if Francis Ngannou hit me in the shoulder as hard as he could, that would be a problem, but I would be okay.
Yeah.
If a Ford Escort hit me in the shoulder, and like I'm against a wall in this situation and squeezed me, even at 5 miles an hour, I could die. Like,
yeah, you're likely to die.
I got it. Okay.
He's not gonna. If he hit you in the shoulder, it wouldn't be enough to like throw you across a highway.
I have the stat, and I understand it more thoroughly now. So,
okay.
I'm just going to read the whole paragraph. So many people still remember that Ngannou has the world record for the hardest punch ever measured. The Cameroonian French fighter recorded a punch of 129,161 units, breaking the record previously held by kickboxer Tyrone Spong. His speed power also hits 51,064 foot-pounds per second, which is equal to the horsepower of a normally sized family car. UFC's head honcho has since been in complete awe of Ngannou's raw power with regards to his punches. He says, quote, Francis is a guy who has the world record for the most powerful punch. His punches are equivalent to 96 horsepower. That's equal to getting hit by a Ford Escort.
None of this
and
makes
it's
any
more
sense.
Powerful than a 12-pound sledgehammer from full force overhead.
It's definitely not. I'll take a punch from him over a sledgehammer any day.
I think both might kill you.
I believe that I, as someone who's barely operated a sledgehammer, can hit a thing on the ground harder than Ngannou can punch.
So I think the difference is that Ngannou's swinging a fist versus a piece of steel. So that you discount that, like it's the energy that's being displaced by either object. If you put a boxing glove on the sledgehammer, then I think it's more comparable to his punch, right?
I hear what you're saying. You're talking about the give and the thing I'm hitting with.
And the cushion of a fist with bone and flesh versus a big chunk of steel on a goddamn handle. I'm not retarded. I see the difference as well. I know that a sledgehammer will make a human head explode.
But if it's not about the item itself that they're swinging, couldn't they have just as easily phrased this like it's like a furiously fast swing in a pillow fight? Because if the item has nothing to do with what we're equivocating, you know what I mean?
Well, it's about the amount of energy that's being displaced, and that's something that I don't have a lot of knowledge outside of ballistics.
I have no knowledge even in that. So.
You know,
he's got you there, Kyle.
With various bullets, you know, and it's that old the mass of the object times the speed of the object equation, and I think that's how they're deriving these ridiculous numbers. So to compare it to a sledgehammer is a little bit of a falsehood, because obviously sledgehammers break concrete walls down, and you know, a human head would literally explode. So
I'm bad at physics, and I think what they're proving is that I could be worse. I could be them.
That's fair. That's fair. But
this is the finest physics minds that the UFC forums have to
offer. But yeah, I'm afraid of that man in a way that I'm not afraid of like the average. Like Derek Lewis is a scary man, but for whatever reason, like I'm like, all right, am I gonna fight Derek Lewis? Fuck, he's gonna hit me so hard. This is gonna really, really hurt, and I'm gonna wake up in a hospital. Wait, I've got to fight Ngannou. Please no, can't I just fight Derek Lewis? I'll fight Derek Lewis twice. How about that?
Dude,
we'll do a rubber match.
As much as I respect Miocic, as much as I like that he was the best, the most successful UFC heavyweight that's ever fought, it's fun to have Ngannou as the champ. It's fun to have the boss character at the end of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out carrying that belt right now. Anyone who goes in there as challenger, it's like, what are you going to do? How are you going to solve? Like, good luck. It's like he's like Nunez. He's just, you know, whoever goes in there with him has a real problem on their hands.
He is terrifying. I am so afraid of that man. And the thing about him is, real soft spoken, polite, friendly.
Oh, that's who intelligent. It was. That's that. Remember, I was saying just a minute ago. They were interviewing him. He's like, John Jones is a great champion. It would be an honor to fight John Jones. If he were to get in there, like I think I can win this. But you know, this would be a really cool thing. I'd be thrilled for it to happen. No, Ngannou, you say John Jones sucks. John Jones is a little person's champion. I am a heavyweight champion. If John Jones steps into the octagon, he's going to find out why the big boys are king of the jungle. Bring your fucking skinny ass in here. I got some fighting to do. Say that, Ngannou, and I will be so excited.
They don't understand the game.
Is he really bad at playing himself up, Ngannou? Like he's
a lot of fighters are bad at playing themselves up.
Sounds like Miocic and Ngannou, based on what you guys have said, are like very good fighters, but they need a hype man. They've had somebody hanging out with them, like giving them like a now say this.
They've had I'm
gonna beat your ass, skinny guy.
It's this lifetime of respect in their martial arts training that's ruined their ability to talk shit on a microphone.
So much bowing and cleaning of mats, you know, like that's why Conor McGregor is so entertaining, because like he has no respect. You know, traditionally, like he has no respect for these people.
Always. I remember them.
Same thing. Like I got no respect for you either. They'll fucking talk mad shit
anymore though. Are they out? Are they not?
It's complicated.
If you give those guys $1 million, they think, well, I won't have to work for 2 years now,
or more. Like they grew up so poor
So they just get a big payday and then they just coast until it's like, oh, the coffers are running dry. Hey, Dana, fuck you, bitch. You know,
yeah, that's what happens. And
I think
like,
as long as
you're
Nate
31,
has,
right? You know you're 31. Yeah. You can't do this forever, and you have to live 40 more years. You need to accumulate some money in the next 5. That thought never crosses their mind.
Nope.
As long as Nate has enough money for wife beaters and weed, he is just fucking solid. Like I don't think he cares where he lives, what he drives.
Damn, seems like a monk of sorts. I like
it's clear he's cutting his own fucking hair. Like the man, the man doesn't even have time to
we can't talk shit over here in the Woodworth house about
that. Like he hasn't bothered to get that speech impediment fixed, even though he's in a job place where like being able to talk a little smack is kind of good sometimes. Like him versus Connor in like the talking game was. You felt bad for him after a while, like that thing where they're on
CNBC. That's what it.
They're on,
no. Yeah. The money show.
It's something like that. Yeah. It's like Connor, Nate, or Nate, and then this female interviewer, and she's like asking questions, and I don't remember the exact way it went down, but she asked him. She asked Diaz a question about numbers or something like that, and Connor's like, he can only count to 5, or something. Like Connor just keeps interjecting every time that like
Nate
she's trying to ask him a question.
He's like, "What are all these questions about contracts? And what is this, like a money channel?" You're yes, yes.
Did he say that? He's on
CNBC. What is this?
Like,
the money channel?
The tickers at the bottom. What is this? The money channel.
That's what
and
happened.
In his head, he's like, zing.
That's totally what happened. He looked a fool. One thing that frustrates me about Nate and his brother Nick is they have this weird code of honor that they violate personally constantly. They hate it when people make excuses, but they give excuses all the time. They hate it when people do X, but they'll do X all the time. They will say a contradictory thing in the very same sentence and believe it on both sides. And it's like, you're just so full of shit. And
it's fair.
It's a weird code.
Yeah, it's hypocrisy. I like 2 different kinds of fighters. I like flashy fighters who have like, crazy hand speed and talk a lot of smack, but are really exciting to watch. Guys like I like Sean O'Malley a lot. I like what's his fucking name? Who always had the cancer kid with him.
Was that Poirier who had the cancer kid?
It's the 145 pound guy, or 135 pound. Yeah, it's 135. It's super fast hands, and he always had that cancer kid.
Yeah. He hated Connor, and he has tattoos all over him.
He fought TJ, and they had that crazy rivalry.
Garbrandt.
Cody Garbrandt. Yeah, I like Cody Garbrandt. I like guys like O'Malley. O'Malley's fight was good. I really enjoyed O'Malley's fight, and I like people that talk a lot of shit. I like them to come out there and entertain me because they fight 25 minutes every 6 to 8 months, right? You gotta fill the rest of that time up with something if I'm gonna be a fan of you. Mm-hmm. You can be a fan of a baseball player. He's going out 3 days a week and fucking swinging a bat.
So let's say you're a UFC fighter, right? You're good. Mm-hmm. Would you color your hair?
I'd come up with a gimmick of some kind. Yeah, you'd want to come up with some kind of a gimmick.
There's not a lot of choices in an octagon.
You can't go like, I wouldn't be super disingenuous about it. Like if like coloring my hair isn't my thing, then that's kind of silly to do. Okay. Because that's gonna like if braiding your hair isn't your thing, it's a silly thing to do.
There's not too many ways to stand out.
Like for example, Sean O'Malley has that facial hair. That's clearly not his thing. He should shave that shit off. That's not a good look for him. He's just an ugly motherfucker anyway. He looks like Post Malone's like skinny little brother or something like that. He is one of the ugliest UFC fighters in the world, but he's really fun to watch. So I'm a fan of him.
Let's go on the mic.
And what's his? Yeah, he's going on the mic. And what's the guy who has the Africa tattoo on him that had the gyno a little bit?
And then Israeli Adesanya.
Israel Adesanya. Like that guy knows how to talk. He's fun, and he's got all sorts of gimmicks. He comes out with all that fucking Naruto shit and all that anime shit.
He acts like he's 19. right?
Mhm.
He'll be like fighting other people on the internet. He's like, you can't hang with me. My generation, like I'm all into anime and video games. It's like, you are 37. Stop.
37.
I don't know. He's old though.
The last fucking style bender. The man knows how to have. He's got a gimmick. He's
31. But yeah, it's just like he acts like he's 19 years old. Like my generation was of the internet. I'm the Instagram gen. You're 31, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not young. Me,
But-
I'm young, spry.
Yeah, me at 30.
Yeah.
Are you 30 yet?
Not yet, and like very soon.
Very
Yeah.
soon.
Yep. I mean, maybe that was his MO like 6 years ago, and he just doesn't know how to get away from it. Is that probably right?
I could be. Dude, I wish I could talk to him because I want to know what he thinks of his career. So here's his career in a nutshell. He got offered a contract to join the UFC a while ago. Call it 8 years ago. And they didn't offer him very much money. He wasn't a super well-known fighter. And he's like, nope, I want more money than that. So he kept fighting outside the UFC, very successful. Cool. When he finally comes into the UFC, he gets a better contract than he would have had he taken the first one. And he lights up the UFC. He made it to the title run in a straight line. Like 4 fights in, he gets a shot at the interim belt and wins. And then he gets a shot at unifying the belt and wins. There is almost no room for improvement in how well his UFC career could have gone, but he didn't start it till he was like 28. And I wonder, did you take the perfect course, right? He is not going to likely beat Anderson Silva's like record for defenses because he would have to be like really good to be at 38 years old or something insane like that. Could the 24, 25-year-old version of him have gone to the UFC and done well? Or maybe he'd get a couple losses and never have that shine again. Maybe it would would you re-roll this die if you could? I wonder.
I don't think he would. I bet he
well.
made good money in K1 or wherever the fuck he was doing that kickboxing shit. I bet he was doing fine over there. Obviously not UFC money. Well,
Is
I
that
don't know if
the
it's
one in,
obvious or not. I really don't know what they get paid.
Is that
I don't know where he fought. I know he was a kickboxer because I've seen some of his kickboxing bouts. I think they call them fights, whatever they call them. Because he lost there. He's never lost in mixed martial arts. And I don't know. I don't like him personally. I really don't.
Now. Who just beat him at 205?
Oh, obviously, yeah. He went up a weight class and lost to Usman. Was it?
No, that'd be down. Right,
would
at
be down.
170.
Who the fuck did he fight?
At 205. Oh, Jan Blachowicz or something close to that.
Yeah, the most forgettable motherfucker ever.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with these fucking Euro guys' names. Yeah, he lost there, but
You're not counting it. I can see that.
I wouldn't count that. It's like, yeah, if he fights Ngannou, he'll lose 2 in a row. And if he fights John Jones, he probably loses 3 in a row. And like, what are we going to cut him if he loses one more? Like no, he's obviously
because he's fighting bigger guys. Yeah,
he's fighting bigger guys. And he also, I heard a lion mauled him pretty bad the other day. He didn't even get any licks in. Oh, and then my favorite part of the night was Tyron Woodley getting fucking retired. His fucking boring bullshit race baiting ass.
He's retiring?
Is that
gonna
just a
have
Kyle
to
thing? Oh, that's just a Kyle thing.
They were like, Dana, so Tyron, 4 losses in a row. What'd you think? He's like, well, I thought this is one of his better fights. You think he's going to continue with you guys? Does he have got another fight in him? Well, let's see. How old is he? 38, 39? He's lost 4 in a row. What do you think? It's like, yeah.
I think Tyrone just won. He won a Bellator contract.
You're goddamn right he did. Or a bare knuckle boxing contract. Yeah. I heard he may have been the one who's rumored to gonna box De La Hoya or something like that, which would be take that, Tyron. Take that and fucking run. Fight all the old 50-year-old fighters you fucking can and with pillow pants on your hands and get the fuck away from these killers. You lazy, boring piece of shit. I hate him with a fury and a passion. I will say this, though. He came out like I've never seen him come out before in this fight. It was clear that somebody's been in his ear for since his last fight. Be like, look, let's watch a little tape. I call this montage boring Tyron. It's your entire career. play. You dance around for 2 rounds measuring your opponent, even though your primary like skill point is your incredibly strong wrestling, because that's what's going to open up the hands. Well, you got away from that after like you became the champion of the world, and you've lost 4 in a row since. How about this time you fucking rush your opponent and grab them and out wrestle them? You're an incredible physical specimen. You look like you squat 700 fucking pounds. Your ass looks like it's made of steel. His thighs are bigger around than my goddamn waist. His ass is a dump truck and a half. And this guy's out there dancing with people, measuring for like 2 rounds, getting picked apart.
It's like he hates being hit, so he just plays super defensive. And he's
Really?
lost something like, coming into this fight, maybe 12 rounds in a row, 9 rounds in a row, something very long. And it's just like, dude, you can't just be all defense for entire fights and lose decisions super lopsided. So he went in there and tried to win, as opposed to just trying not to lose, not to get hit, not to get hurt. And, it had his moments.
He had his moments. It was, if he'd been doing that every fight for the last 4, he wouldn't be 0-4. It just so happened that he got caught. He ended up in a nasty choke. And like while we were watching the fight, the guy he was fighting, I think he's ranked 10th in the world at that weight class, something like that. And Tyron was 7th, something along those lines, plus or minus 1 or 2. And his opponent, didn't know how to capitalize on what was clearly a discombobulated Tyron Woodley. Like, we're watching the fight, like I said, in a big group together. And I usually try to stay quiet. But I don't really like it when somebody's screaming and shouting and stuff. So I usually just try to stay quiet. I'm not your Joe Rogan here. I'm not going to be doing commentary.
Not perfectly synced either. So if you go, oh, and I haven't seen it yet, it's a bit of a
spoiler. Ours is, because ours is.
Okay.
Yeah, we get it all synced up.
You got a system.
Yeah. And so Tyron's head isn't even on straight anymore. And that's not like a figure of speech. His head is, he's
Bambi on ice.
Like he can't hold his head up straight. It's literally twisted to the side, and he doesn't know that. That's how fucked up he is. And I'm screaming. I'm like, get him! Get him! He doesn't know what planet he's on! Get him! And the other guy's just like, I don't know, maybe he's tricking me. Maybe he's fooling me. There's no way I already fucked him up that bad. Are you still here? Are you still here? Oh, you're not. Pop, pop, pop. Yeah. Dizzy him a little, and now Tyron's just like, oh, and he's staggering around, and the guy's still just like, I don't know, he might be suckering me in by just absorbing 8 shots to the head in a row. Maybe I'll just dance around. And I'm just like, kill him! I could beat him at this point. Throw me in right now, and I could take him. He's so fucked up, he doesn't know where he is. I think I might be able to take Tyron Woodley at that point. He was up against the cage, his hands were at his like nipples, and he looked like this.
I don't know. On the counter argument, didn't Stipe lose that way? Stipe thought he hurt Ngannou and sort of went all offense and got hit.
Yeah, there was that weird flurry of exchanges, and Stipe threw maybe a left, hit Ngannou, but Stipe was already so fucked up because he just absorbed half a dozen shots to the head. He was in no position to be able to gauge someone else's like combobulation level. And that's kind of how the fight ended. But when he finally took him down and put him in that choke, that was a nasty choke. And I like when you get to see the eyes of the person getting choked. And I was like, he's going to tap. This bitch would never take a choke. He would never get choked out in the ring. He's not that kind of man. He's going to tap. And sure enough.
Yeah.
Fucking get out of there.
So is it a known thing that Tyron Woodley, like, you lay some heavy hands into him and he like takes a couple steps back? Like, you just
he doesn't like it.
It's known he doesn't like getting hit, which obviously nobody likes getting hit. But then there are the fighters where it's like, that guy doesn't really seem to mind, like Homer Simpson style fighting, where it's like you wear him out and it's like, how am I?
Yeah, there are fighters who tire people out by absorbing punishment. There are fighters.
I don't know which one, but he did that, right? He could
Justin Gaethje, fucking 150, to Tony Ferguson, like guys like that just keep coming at you. They're always on top of you, and you're 3 rounds in. You've given them everything you had, and you look over there at them, and they're bouncing.
Yeah.
I'm coming for more. And you're just like, I don't have much more.
That's got to be like really discouraging as a UFC fighter when you're like, because I'm sure like it's going in slow motion in their head, and they're like, oh, this one's gonna connect. Oh, what a juicy! That's why I train. That's why I practice. And he's just like, like, oh no, full fuck, man. Like that's not fair.
I feel like
that happens. It's beautiful when that happens. Like Justin Gaethje,
Just smile with their bloody mouth guard. Yeah.
Tony will lick blood off of his fucking gloves and shit. He's got another human being's blood on his tongue. He's eating people's blood in the ring. I've seen him do it. I've seen him eat another man's blood in the ring.
That's too far. That's gross.
It's cool.
I can't remember who it was, but a few fights ago, but they were on top of a guy kicking his ass, and the guy throws an upwards elbow and like cuts the top of his head, and so blood is dripping really profusely, like down from his hair, off his forehead. So he's just like, have some. Yeah, have some. He's like rubbing the blood into the guy's eyes.
He was obviously intentionally using his dripping blood as an offensive weapon. Yeah. And if your blood in my eyes and nose and mouth, it becomes a priority for me to stop that from happening. But it's
I like how you phrased that.
So fucking gross.
but that just opens up a window to get more punches in, because now I've divided my attention.
This is why the UFC is the best fucking sport there is. Like the conversation we just had. So he used his own blood as an offensive weapon to blind his opponent. You're like, hey, you don't see that in soccer.
Let's make an Airbud rule about that. No intentionally bleeding on your opponent. Only a happenstance bleeding.
Yeah. I thought it was a real good night of fights. The only downside I thought was like the early prelims was one fight. It's usually like 3 and then maybe 4. So you end up with like, I don't know, a dozen fights throughout the whole night. But so it was a little bit shorter than I would have liked, but I got the outcome I wanted in virtually every fight, which isn't a prerequisite for a good night.
True.
Sometimes when my guy loses, it's like, I'm kind of fired up for the rematch, or
sometimes the next day I wake up and it's like the world's changed a little bit. There's a new heavyweight champion, like something just went down, and it like this kitchen vibe's different to me because of that. It is cool. Ngannou is the champ. He's very scary. I hope he fights often.
Agreed. I like active champions. I like to see him go out there and ply their trade. He does need someone to help him with his trash talking. He did say some negative stuff about John Jones. This is as nasty as it got.
Okay.
John Jones is an easier fight than Stipe. That's as nasty as he got.
You can do better.
It's not very interesting at all.
Yeah.
Like, come on. The man hit and ran a woman that was pregnant. Like, he's known for cocaine, steroids, marijuana, fucking having skinny legs, being a piece of shit. Like, attack.
John Jones has nothing to offer me. I'm not a pregnant woman. Say it.
There you go.
Lay it out there.
There you go.
That'd be a good one.
Dude,
try that.
John Jones doesn't want to get in the ring with me, so I've been walking around with this bag of cocaine. I think I'll be able to lure him in.
Oh, I love that. He should do that. He should put it on his belt loop and just bring it to press conferences. It's catnip for John Jones. This is cocaine.
Yeah. Just get a little bag of flour or something, powdered sugar,
whatever it looks like.
Cocaine. He's not going to come out. He knows. Yeah, he can tell from the grain.
Or like on the press table, make a little line of it, like coming closer and closer to where Stipe is. He says, John Jones trap. He's luring him in. Luring him in.
Stick and then a box like
dude, that would be so great.
Quiet. John Jones.
Just while Jones is talking, set it up. Quietly break out the credit card, make some lines, put the box, the stick, the comically bright string on it. Be like, I gotta get him.
If you saw that, like because the bar is so low for these guys, because they're meathead fighters for the most part.
True.
Like if they have a quip, a little funny observation, if they're able to like get their line out quickly, even, and it's just mediocre, it's like, oh, good one, I like it. Come on, right now, like look, hit the heavy bag, do your running, get your cardio in, lift your weights, do what ever you're injecting into yourself Ngannou, because we know it's something. Good
Clearly.
God, you
Something
monster.
powerful. Yeah.
You're fucking something that ends in alone or
Yeah.
arone or tatone alone. Like whatever you're shooting into your ass cheeks is fucking working, brother. But in the meantime, come up with some fucking funny shit to say to make fun of John Jones to like pump those numbers up, right? Like John Jones wants to, and John Jones the same shit. You want to get paid?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking make it interesting. Conor McGregor didn't get paid just because of flashing knockouts. Okay,
True.
like there are plenty of people who like knock people the fuck out. Conor McGregor got paid because he's so fucking entertaining. There's a reason why there are still like tons of commercials I see on TV with Conor McGregor in them, despite the fact that he's not really doing anything fighting related. He's charismatic. Words roll off of his tongue smoothly.
Who
The
just
accent's
beat
cool.
him? He just lose it. Oh, Poirier beat him.
Yeah, he sold a proper 12 for a boon.
Yes, I put it in our group. WhatsApp. I forget the number, but it was like a lot. Conor McGregor. It has been rumored that Conor McGregor has always exaggerated and sort of lied about how much he got paid by the UFC. Right? He's out there telling people he got $15 million from the UFC, $100 million off of his Mayweather fight, stuff like that. And everyone is like, he did not. He's just doing what rappers do, pretending to be mega rich. This proper 12 sale, like, he is legit, honest, mega rich. He did it. He did it. He's super rich.
At this point, he easily has 100 million plus in the bank, and you know who knows how much else in assets. He's made it. You know, he's at the point where he can go get himself a $25 million jet if he wants to, and not worry too much. And I'm sure he's already got one. He's probably already got a fucking $25 million jet. Every time I see him, he's in a fucking $250,000 car. He's wearing a $50,000 suit. Like the man likes living a certain lifestyle.
Apparently, McGregor's worth more than $300 million now. He's a third of a billionaire.
Hell yeah, I like it. I like the guy. You know, look, he started as a plumber, right? Like it's hard not to on welfare. He was a plumber on welfare a decade ago.
Not a very good plumber.
Earned it. True. I liked early McGregor. I used to root against or bet against him, but I was always wrong. And but he would go on Instagram and be like, "See that stadium? I dream of fighting in that stadium someday." And that connected with me, right? And this is between fights. Every other fighter, you don't even see him. Conor's out there connecting with his audience, and that's why he sells. Everyone needs to do that. Need to learn.
Yeah, they don't get it. They don't get it. Like. If I were Conor McGregor, my next move might be to have like a fucking representation company. Like we're gonna represent you in negotiations with the UFC, with sponsors, and we're gonna work on your image. Like those three branches of the tree are things that he is better at than anybody. Like say what you will about his fighting. At his peak, I think he was one of the best. I'm slowly, unfortunately, having to agree with you more and more that he hasn't done anything lately. I am a what have you done for me lately kind of guy when it comes to sports and athletes and stuff. And the answer is not a whole lot, unfortunately. But those other three things, goddamn, he might be the best.
Yeah. Call it a wrap?
Yeah. I'm going to go eat dinner.
All right. PKN 345.